The Ondt and the Gracehoper, Finnegans Wake, page 414, line 16, to page 419, line 10. The Gracehoper was always jigging a jog, hoping on account of his joyosity. He had a partner pair of findle stilts to supplant him, or if not, he was always making ungraceful overtures to Flo and Lucer, and Beanie and Vespatilla, to play Poopa Poopa, and Pullacy Pullacy, and Lang Tenors, and Push Pig Diem, and to commence insects with him, their mouthparts to his orifice, and his gambols to their airy processes, even if only in chaste, among the ever-listings, behold a whispering pot. He would have cursed maliciously by his four feelers, flexors, contractors, depressors, and extensors. Lamely harry me, marry me, bury me, bind me, till she was puced for shame, and also frumish her in spinner's housery at the earth's best Schopenhauer, so summary as his cottage, which was called familiarly ting summing genting groped up. Oh, if he was always striking up funny funerals, with best of Vater Zoitz, the aged one, with all his wig-eared corollas, albidinous and old buoyant in scythe, his electrical worm casket and dahlia and peonia, his drooping nymphs bewheedling him compound eyes, on hornet toes head, and old Letty plussy boots to scratch his cacumen and cackle his transitus, Diva Deborah, 7 bowls of sapo, a lick of lime, 2 spurts of phosphor, 3 firsts of sulph, a shake o' sugar, those grains of mignus, and a messful of mid-cap pitches. The rule of the whale, in the wheel of the wall, of the boo-boo from Boonium, has thus come to town, and with tambourines and cantoridettes. So turning around his eggshell rock coach, they dance macabre in retrophobia, back from bulk like fantastic disgust, and Jenny Aprils to the ra, the ra, the ra, the ra, langzome heels and langzome toeses, attended to by a mutter and duffer, duffmat baxing much, and a myrmidness of psolas, singing such as caudal days nice and humbly dumbly sad we a while, but ho, time again wake. For if scientium, what's what, commutans not, a thought about the great somebody within the omnibus, perhaps an atascord hoots hoot, might sing tum tim about the little newbodies that ring his punch, a high old tide for the bar-heated publics, and the whole day as gratis, fudder and lightning for Ali's duty. Any filly in a fog, for O'Cronion lags a crumbling in his sands, but his sons still stumble on, everything above ground, as his book of breathings bed him, so as every why, sham or shunner, zeem lianglia to kick time. Gracious me, and scour me shawl, what a bagatelle it is, libellus inzanzarity, poop schlap too, what a sight for the Goths, vented the Ondt, who, not being a summer fool, was thoughtfully making chilly spaces at his fex affront of the icing glass of his windhame, which was cold and typically nix, we shall not come to party at that Lops. He decided possibly, for he is not on our social list, nor to bars burial nether, thon sluggard, this olde boars, ja oblong as there's a cull on a cat. Never senseless, when he had safely looked up his offipository, he lofted hills and prayed, may he me no void of water, seek it hatup, may no me he tile pig's head, on suck it hotup, as broad as Beppy's realm shall flourish my reign shall flourish, as high as Heppy's heaven shall flourish my aim shall hourish, shall grow, shall flourish, shall hourish, The Ondt was a well-tall fellow, warmly built and able-boobied, pioneer so altitudinous we Schelling in Kopfers. He was sehr solemn and chairman-looking when he was not making spaces in his psyche, but louse when he were making spaces on his Ike. He were moosh moths sacred and movingly wise chairman-looking. Now whim the silly billy of a Gracehoper, had jingled through a jungle of love and debt, and jangled through a jumble of life in doubts afterwards, wetting with the bimble beaks, drinking with norto nets, bilking with doughy dung legs, and whoring after lady birdies. Itenam diagala ganetaikon. He fell joust as sec as a sexton, and tantu puveru quant, a church prince, and we're the midges to wend himself for watch to search for grub for his corpus, or to find a hospice. A lick he wist it. Bruco dry, Fuku spint, sultamont ozober, and vollamundo ossi vidavid. Nick sun nix, not one pick a peck of muscamony, to bag a tittle bits of bee bread. Eo, quicks corpuscule, which applied to my bog, he contrited with melancholy, meblis of ed, him slugged. I am heartily hungry. He had eaten all the wild paper, swallowed the lustres, devoured 40 flights of staircases, chewed up all the menses and secles, wrung the records, made munballs of the ephemerides, and Voricius boast gluttonously with the very time-place in the ternary, not too dusty a cicada, of nutriment for a chitinous chip so mighty. But when Christmas was on the bare branches, off he went from ting so Meng Ke. He took a round stroll, and he took a stroll round, and he took a round stroll again, till the grills in his head and the leaveness in his hair made him thought he had the Tosmania. Had he twice cycled the seas of the dead, and traversed their reveries? Was he come to heaven with his angiles, or gone to Hull with the poop? The June snows was flocking in thuck flows on the Hegel stones, millipedes of it and myriapods, and the ugly whistling tornadoes. The boa borealas are blasting the gollots up to Letties, and ruchy sleets off the couple houses, playing Ragnarok, Ragnarek, with an irritant, penetrant, siphonopterous spook. Gracehoper. The Gracehoper, who though blind as a bat flea, yet knew not a little beetle, his good smettling of entomology asped nesuntimust, louse nor lysines, but promptly tossed himself in the Vico, thin and thinner, on top of his buzzer, testily wondering where would his luck alight, or boss of both appease. And the next time he makes the acquaintance of the Ondt, after this they have met themselves, these mystical unsummables, it shall be motor lucky if he will be held, not a world of difference. Beheld his gross the Ondt, prostrandverse upon his throne, in his Papillonian babushkis, smoking a spatial brunt of Hosanna cigars, with unshrinkables far falling from his unthinkable swarming of himself, in his sunny room, sated before his conformable full-up suppy of a plate of monkinus. And a confusion of minth, for he was conformed ascetist and Aristoteler, as happy as an honeysucker or a basket boy on the libido, with Flo biting his leg thigh, or Lucer lugging his luff leg, and Beanie bussing him under his bonnet, and Vespatilla blowing cosy fond tutties up the broad length of the large of his smalls, as entomat as intimate could pensably be. Emmet and Debit and be jilces, crazed and be jades, whip and sneezed, the Gracehoper a grape, with pitch lays and his wittles indists. What have I foresight? The Ondt, that true and perfect host, Espiter Aspina, was making the greatest spas a body could, with his queen's lace swinging, for he was sprizzing all over him, like thingum anything, in formula collation, boundlessly bliss-filled, in an alabath of houris. He was amassing himself hugely at crab around and maripose, chasing Flo out of charity and tickling loser. I hope too, and tackling Beanie Faith as well, and chuckling Vespatilla, jukily by the chimish. Never did Dorsan from Duns hanged and danced it with more devilry. The very pathetic imago, the impossible Gracehoper on his other cope in the mire, after his thrice ephemeral journeys, sans mantis ne shushu, featherweight animule, actually and presumptuously sanctifying Chronic's despair, was sufficiently and probably cuckoo much for his crows of gravitates. Let him be at alone the weeps with his parasites peeling off him. I'll be high fee the cracker slider, flunky footle furloughed fowl, writing off his phony but calm, makes his melody that mints the money, ad majorum LSD divi glorium, a darkener of the threshold, Harry Orimus, capsizer of his anti-boat, secketh raid from evil, it is Lord of loaves in Ammon dead. Be it, so be it. Thou who thou art, the fleeter spindrift, imfang thee of mine wide height. Haru. The thing pleased him, and ant. He laughed and he laughed on, he made such noises. The Gracehoper feared he would misplace his forces. I forgive you, Grand Ondt, said the Gracehoper, weeping. For their souks of their sakes you are safe in whose keeping. Teach Flo and loose polkas, show beanies wear sweet, and be sure Vespatilla finds for ones to heat. As I once played the piper, I must now play the count, So Saida to my matlet, and Mahaba to your mount, that who legs lump above, so what flies, be a full un, I could not feel more gruggy, if this was plump pollen. I pick up your reproof, the horse gift of a friend, for the prize of your save is the price of my spend. Can castors pull a kiss, if old Pollux forsake 'em, or Culex feel etchy, if Pullux don't wake 'em? A locust to loo, a tomb it embarrass, these twain are the twins that tick homo vulgaris. Has Aquiloni naught wing to go sif? Since the Giffin we were in his forest, drew brief, and that accident man was not besieged where his story ends. Since Long's firing sighs sought heart seats for their Owens, we are washed a not with want, pre-condemned to and true, till Nolan's gold volants and Brune eyes comes blue. Ere those guilt flirts now, getting you quit your mocks for my gropes, and extends must impel, and elapse must elopes. Of my take stock, think tact and all's wheel, as I view by your forelook, hail yourself to my heel. Party prize my thin winds, whiles my blink points unbroken on. Your holes were a cabaret, with touts triety right taken on. My invisible universe, you'dly hard find, thults oxto beef furnace, meat so veal behind. Your feats are enormous, your volumes immense. May the graces I hoped for sing your Ondtship song sense. Your genus its world wild, your spacious sublime, but holy Sal Martin, why can't you beat time? In the name of the former and of the latter, and of the Holocaust. Amen.